Hello, 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 hello. Hello, little peoples of the world. How are you? There we go. Got some tunes in the background. Got some good stuff. Because my audio is apparently quieter than everyone else's most of the time. At least that's what I've been told. I'm not sure. But, yes. Welcome to whatever the hell this is. As usual. It's really odd. Like I had hey Trudy. What's up, Melee? What's up, goons? Oh, the smell of ketchup always permeates my room. But and maybe I should. I don't know. I've been thinking like, should I even have like a Twitch? Like nobody watches me on there anymore. Everyone just starts to like, yeah, the irony of certain things. I'm not gonna explain again. I think Melee and like Goons are probably the only people that like maybe one other person are the only people who actually actively watch me on Twitch. It's pretty funny. No, I was about to start streaming and dude, like I got hit with like a crazy kind of nausea headache thing. Oh, I don't know. It was just kind of nuts. Like I was just like, oh, I'm ready for my stream, and then like about 15 minutes before, just like this wave of just like a combination of just kind of a bit of nauseousness with like this weird kind of dull headache hit me. Like a miasma just kind of came over. Inui on top of that. It's fucking weird. I was fine like a second ago. My dinner was fine. At least I thought it was. And all I have been drinking was water. Just like a lot of water. So I don't know. It usually passes. I've had this happen before, but it generally just kind of passes. But I'm not sure what's causing it. It's really kind of odd. Okay. Well, past that, to get to the meat of things. There's a few of you here already. Have you guys ever had that, by the way? Has anybody ever had, like, just, like, everything's perfectly fine, then you feel kind of nauseous and gross, and then, like, ugh, and then it just kind of goes away? I think, Mila, you said you dealt with that sometimes, right? Yeah. The sucky part is I never know if it's, like, medication or I took some ibuprofen because the headache was, it's just annoying. Yeah, I don't know what's causing it. But then, like, I'll be right as rain, like, in an hour sometimes. Not always the case, but it'll happen. Okay, let's get going. For me, it's an alexithymic thing. I'll be perfectly fine and then vomit and realize, oh, I wasn't fine. Interesting. Interesting, okay. Yeah, okay, I could see that for sure. So the topic I wanted to kind of yammer on today about is something that was just kind of like, I don't know, Tuesdays are for when something's rattling around in my brain and bugging me, or just something that's been kind of, I've been thinking about a lot that week, and I'll bring it up and see if anybody else has similar experiences or knows what I'm talking about or doesn't know what I'm talking about but is curious or whatever. If anybody wants to jump on, they can always do that or contribute in chat, whatever. If the subject ends up not being interesting to anybody, then I just move on. Let somebody else take the wheel at that point if somebody wants to. But oh god, this nausea. Oh, I hate it. Ugh. Anyway, just vomit all over the camera. Just fucking everywhere. Anyway, so get a bucket. Hell no, I'm gonna do it right on the camera, so you see like little chunks and shit fly out there. You guys can catch them like fish. But Yeah. I was thinking a lot about nostalgia. That's why I put nostalgia or psychalgia. I think it's called. Is that spelled out? Yeah, psychalgia, which is like pain caused like by one's psychology or it's not psychological pain, but it's like physical pain coming from some psychological process of some kind. But yeah, I was thinking a lot about a game I used to play like a lot. I don't know how it came up or why it came up. Oh god, why am I so nauseous? Just has stroke. Um, and the no, I'll just leave it there. I won't clean it up. It'll just stay there for the next stream. Little dried chunks. Um, but yeah. I was thinking about a game that I really, really loved as a kid. I remember I used to like play it so fucking much. I used to play that shit on repeat because I was always trying to beat it on hard and I couldn't for the longest time. And I remember I loved the game. It was this Sega Genesis game. Yes, I'm an old ass boomer. I'm gonna be 40 in August. So, it was a game called Rocket Knight Adventures, and it's just been like on my mind for like a few days now. And I forgot who or what. Oh yeah, I know what brought it up. Steam, I guess, is getting a collection of all 3 games, which was a Rocket Knight Adventure, Sparkster, and I forgot what Sparkster 2 is called. But the one I loved the most was the first one, Rocket Knight Adventures. I think the sequels were like on Super Nintendo or some shit. And just I remember playing it, and you played this little possum. This cute little cartoon possum, and he wears like little knight armor, and he flies around on a jetpack, and he like fights like these little pig guys, and I think in a later one he fights like wolves or something. But point is, he's a possum in a jetpack, going on like cool adventures in with his sword or whatever. And I remember, again, I would play. I tried to beat it with 1 life on hard. That was like my goal in my little kid head. I was like, "This is the greatest game I've ever played. I must beat it on hard with 1 life." And I did eventually, after enough memorizing and stuff. But I remember I used to spend a lot of hours just imagining myself as the Rocket Knight guy. I remember I would just daydream all the time about like flying through the air with a jetpack and then slashing robots and enemies like midair while flying with a rocket like he did. And I would just have all these little fantasies and I would just sit around just thinking about it. I remember that. That's all I would. I think honestly, like I would probably stop paying attention in school because of whatever thoughts I was having that day, plus just Rocket Knight Adventure daydreams, right? Weird as shit. And there's a trailer came out for the collection, and it's just like it just gave me like this weird rush of just like, oh shit! Like what was funny was at least to me, it wasn't the same normal rush of like, man, what an awesome game, like that. Yeah, I felt that a little bit, but the part that I was like, oh wow, like was the memories of all those daydreams I used to have about that. And I used to do that for years and years as a kid. That's all I think I did most of the time as a kid, was either do my gaming, my comic books, and my reading, and then my daydreaming. Yeah, that's most of my memories as a child. I have a more vivid recollection of all my just fantasies as a kid than anything else. And I was, when I was seeing the clips of the game and stuff, I was like, this is just nostalgia. This is like rose tinted glasses or something. Like, because I'm looking at it, I'm going, this game is so amazing. Like, there's so much to it. There's, like, layers of really cool shit. And that, even at the time, was just, in my opinion, like, I didn't know at the time. I was just a kid. But at the time, this game was, like, I liked it more than like all the games that everyone liked all the time, like Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and like Mario and all this fucking shit. Like there's all these games that came out and were around at the same time, and everyone was talking about them, but all I could think about was Rocket Knight Adventures. There's a few games that had like that, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors for like Super Nintendo. And this music reminded me of that a little bit. And then I showed a few people some of this like Rocket Knight Adventure thing. I showed like I think probably like 3 different Zoids that shit. And I was like, are you picking up what I'm dropping with this game? There's something just extraordinary about it. And it was crazy because like, yeah, I mean, I was showing it to like Zoomers for the most part, and they were like, ooh, shit. This game goes hard. I'm like, yeah, it fucking does. You know? So I don't know if that validates that I had some kind of insight into like a silly game, and it somehow I kind of integrated it because of that reason. Because I had other games, right? I had Sonic games, I had Golden Axe games, and I liked them all. I thought they were great games. Or something stood out about fucking Rocket Knight Adventures. And yeah, it was interesting to show some people that have never heard of it, don't know what the fuck it is, and I showed them, and they're Zoomers, and they go, wow. That was a weird feeling. I thought like, oh man, old man's gonna be pulling out his old shit. Oh, Grandpa! Ah! Right? Grandpa wants to show you his video games. And I don't know. My son was living so much in Grand Theft Auto that he drives his car like he's still in the game, upgrades mufflers. Oh, Jesus. That's funny. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I was feeling nostalgic about my daydreams. I used to have way more of them. Even like up until my 20s and stuff, I would say I still did a lot of daydreaming. By the time I hit my 30s, like the daydreaming sort of slowed down, and I stopped daydreaming and I started doing a lot more thinking. I was already always kind of thinking about shit, but like I was probably spending more time daydreaming and daydreaming about my thoughts as well. And yeah, in my 30s it just kind of slowed down, but the thinking increased, but the daydreaming decreased. And I didn't control it. It wasn't like a decision I made or something. I didn't think, well, daydreaming's stupid. It's just, I don't know. I think maybe because my life, in some regards, like I was still feeling like the emptiness and stuff that I would kind of try to fill with that sort of daydreaming escapism was dying. Like it just wasn't working anymore. But I do wish I was trying to do it again. Like I'm not joking. Like I was sitting there and I was like, can I do it again? Can I go back to Rocket Knight Adventures? And I kind of could. I was there. My perspective was a little different, but I was like, this is wholesome. This is fucking cool. I like this. So I was able to kind of tap into that like nostalgic daydreaming. I was worried I wouldn't be able to. I was thinking about like, can I even do it anymore? It's been so long since I imagined myself in the shoes of like a character or something, right? Or some, because that's all I did as a kid. Like I would watch cartoons and eventually like animes that were available and play games, and I would like, whether it was Mega Man or whatever, I would like imagine myself as like the fucking protagonist, just like kicking ass and doing things and being like, it's time to save the world. I would just do that all the fucking time into like my teenage years. The fantasies got a little grim during those years. got a little more vengeful. Because, you know, the old misanthropy and alienation was kicking in. But before that, it was mostly a daydream escapism because just life felt so monotonous and just not okay. Didn't feel okay at all. Felt empty. And so even as a kid, I found so much of my real life boring, I think. Even if I don't have memories of thinking, oh, I'm bored, you know? It's more like, obviously, whatever was going on around me was just not stimulating enough that I couldn't just keep myself from staying in my dream, like my daydreams and thoughts about them. I'm not sure if that's something that kind of slows down as you get older. I don't know if life beats it out of you. Well, obviously it doesn't, because Trudy says they're still doing it. So you get older and serious and practical, full of grown, boring thought chores. Yeah, I know, I get that, but I don't know that it's that. I guess, like, I think what happened is maybe I wanted to use my creativity and in a more like pragmatic way. Like, I think daydreams weren't like satisfying enough at a certain point. Maybe I don't know what happened, but they're still nice, and I guess that's what I wanted to bring up. The nostalgia about your own previous daydreams. I think that's pretty interesting, and I don't know if that's something a lot of schizoids probably have some, except for the ones out there with like aphantasia or something. You guys probably don't be doing that, but any zoids out there that like have fond memories or nostalgic memories of fantasies, internal fantasies and daydreams. Yeah, like, because I don't think even a game like Rocket Knight, as good as it was, I don't think if I wasn't doing all those daydreams about those specific things, I don't think it would have like been so ingrained in my memory. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I still daydream on the regular. I think it's more dependent on whether or not the daydream's material is more emotional, provocative than external activities, for me at least. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's something along those lines. Like, as a kid, I wasn't like, I didn't want to go out. Like, I wasn't really playing outside too much. I would sometimes, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm sitting at home bored, I need to go outside. It's just like, nah, I'm cool. I'm just gonna think about flying through space as a possum in a rocket pack, and I'll come up with little adventures and stuff in my head. Though I can't quite remember what they were about. They were probably about nothing. They were probably just about the action or the flying, or I don't know. And I remember I would listen to music a lot. 12, 13, 14, whatever. I would listen to music and just imagine things for like hours. A lot of people have that one thing that runs alongside the passenger window of the car: running, jumping, parkour man, or animal. A lot of people have that. That's like a common thing. I still find myself doing that on occasion. The little hand guy? Yeah, like if I'm in the passenger seat, like my wife's driving, and then like I'll have my fingers on the window, and I'm just like dodging shit, because I'm like going at the speed of the car, so I'm like ninja running. You know, I remember I used to do that like all the time as a kid, and I'll find myself just kind of doing it sometimes without thinking about it, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Whatever, and then I just keep doing it. So it's interesting. I don't think I do it as like, you know, yeah, I still got the ninja, a little fucking the car window ninja. It's so weird, man. It's such a fucking weird thought. Yeah, I still got it, Trudy. Don't worry. I haven't lost the car window ninja yet. Let me see here. I don't even think anybody's on here today. Let me see. Nah, nobody's here. Fucking. Wait, somebody's here. Hold on. Trusty Shadow. 1 second. There we are. Hey, Shadow.
I am in fact not trust.
I know, that's the joke. That's the joke.
It fell flat. Get it? Flat.
Yeah.
How I like my soda anyway.
What? How do I know about your soda?
What?
I don't know about your soda. You just wake
What?
up.
Did you hear what I just said?
You said flat like my soda.
Flat like how I like my soda.
Oh, that's right. You like your soda flat. It's so gross.
I do.
Blech. Just drink Kool-Aid instead. Jesus.
I do, actually.
Good.
I drink way more flavored drinks than I do soda.
Or water.
Or water.
Just pissing out Kool-Aid all day. But,
Also, yes, I just woke up.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about how... I don't know if you heard me talking about, but I was feeling nostalgic about my daydreams as a kid that I don't do anymore. That I used to do all the time. And it was triggered by, like, nostalgia and, like, a certain... that Rocket Knight Adventurers game I told you about. Remember I showed you the little clip where I sent you the link to the little rocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it was like... I was watching videos of the game, and I was like, yeah, I was getting, like, flashes of all these, like, memories of myself sitting in a room after playing it, or in the middle of playing it, and then just, like just daydreaming about it. Even as I was playing it, I think, because it got to be so muscle memory and stuff that, like, I would just, like, be sitting there playing it, like, just pulled into it. It's really interesting. And then even at school, I would be distracted by, like, these daydreams about not just that game, but, like, I remember that one was a big one for me. It was Rocket Knight Adventures. And just, you know, imagining myself flying around with a jetpack, fighting fucking little pig dudes and stuff, and like, yeah, just like weird thoughts like that.
I don't have a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of past memories in my life that, to be honest, I feel kind of aversive opening up the can of worms again.
Do you feel any nostalgia for any past daydreams you used to have?
I think about a lot of them all the time. And they're important to me in various aspects. But again, it's like returning to a past state of mind has almost always been something that's made me feel not okay. So I tend not to get nostalgic.
Yeah. Why did Melee say "What the fuck, Shadow"? I don't even know what that was the response to.
Probably the fact that I like flat soda. Trudy does, see? I'm not crazy. Someone else does too.
Okay, who else does?
Trudy.
Likes flat soda? Blech.
Yeah!
Fucking a bunch of flat Stanleys up in here.
Carbonation hurts your throat.
Y'all crazy? Fuck yeah, they're crazy.
It burns your throat.
Then just don't drink soda. Leave it alone.
But I like soda.
But you don't like soda. Soda requires carbonation. You like flavored drink. That's not soda.
I like Dr. Pepper, the drink of doctors, okay? And it burns my throat, so I
just realized something.
Either drink it flat or I switch it around in my mouth, so it's not as
I don't know
burning.
if it's I doubt it tastes anywhere near the same, but I saw that there were certain, like, soda brands that were releasing their flavor as, like, a water powder drink. And I was thinking about that. It made me think, like, oh, what if you could just, like, get, like,
some weak shit.
Get like Dr. Pepper powder, mix it into your water, and it just tastes like flat Dr. Pepper.
It's not the same if I don't struggle with it.
What do you mean struggle? Like, let it sit there and get flat?
Like if I don't have to, like, wait for it to get flat, or if I don't have to switch it in my mouth, and I just, like, prep it and it
Fucking
just takes
sick.
away like all the needs to it.
Melee, we should fucking genocide all flat soda drinkers. Genocide all flat soda drinkers. Fucking
Listen, flat is
disgusting.
justice. I'm just saying.
That
But
explains
like
your
for soda.
taste in women too.
In soda, yeah.
No, in women.
Well, I wouldn't go that.
And I like
I'm
my
not the one who
women like
said
I
it.
like my soda.
I'm not the one who said it, okay?
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So
Nostalgia.
you don't have the memories, I guess. Maybe it's just a me thing. But I was also
I have plenty of memories. Like I can
well, I mean,
like articulate
the
to you.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
For, like, yeah.
Plenty of
like,
things, but
daydreams. I like think fondly on some of them, but like I feel like an old grandpa like thinking about like, oh, when I was a kid, we used to play hop a stick or some shit. But I just think about not just the game, but the daydreams themselves. I long for the days. But before the knowledge came, before all the knowledge, I drowned in knowledge. It drowned the dreams.
I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of things later in my life that I appreciate that it's hard to like because nostalgia implies maybe not always, but it kind of has this implication that you would go back for a time for even if it was temporary to relive it.
No, I wouldn't.
Maybe
I wouldn't.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
want that. I would just want what I had then, right now. Bring it to the present.
But yeah, like something like that, you know. And I have very mixed feelings about that. Like there's again plenty of daydreams and dreams even that are dear to me as other memories would. But I want the past to stay in the past.
Maybe I just want the ability to tap into it as strongly as I could as a kid. I just can't anymore. Or it's a lot harder. I don't know. Ugh. I'm still really nauseous. I just I was explaining about 15 minutes before I jumped on stream. I suddenly started just feeling just nauseous out of nowhere.
It's because you didn't have flat soda.
Ugh, flat soda would make me vomit right now, I think.
Water.
No, I've been drinking a lot of water today. I'm not dehydrated. It's just weird.
Ginger ale.
I have some. I don't think that would really help.
Ginger ale is a cure-all.
No, it's not. You don't use it. You probably drink it flat.
Yes, I do.
Use it and drink it flat?
Listen, ginger ale will cure all of your ailments.
Do you really do you actually use it when your stomach upset?
No.
You're just full of shit.
Well, because then the like even ginger ale kind of has mixed makes me feel like I don't know. I have a very sensitive stomach.
I don't. That's why it's weird. Recently, it's been.
Yeah, well, I'm autistic, so.
Okay, all
kinda,
autistic people don't have sensitive stomachs, do they?
a lot of them do, though. I didn't say all, but I implied
Hashtag
a
all.
lot. I'm not so black and white, but I am going to say there is a correlation.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I'm just so stuck on these thoughts, man. Shadow's voice is loud compared to yours. Oh, tell me now. All late. All late. Thanks, Melee.
Hold on. Melee's the one saying it. That sounds sus.
No, they would say it, and it's true. They've done it before.
Oh no, I am a little loud.
Oh, Melee doesn't appreciate being told that they're sus.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I have a lot more energy, but this fucking nausea just came out of nowhere. Yeah, and it was kind of like weird, because you got me.
Maybe that is your nostalgia. You're just mistaking it.
Oh, my nostalgia's nausea, giving me nausea.
Maybe you're mistaking your nauseousness for.
Okay, I can't believe you're spreading misinformation, says Gooms on Twitch. Ginger ale does not make you unnauseous. That's 7 Up. Ginger ale turns you into a unicorn. Well, there you
Listen,
go.
I said it was the cure-all, but I said I don't like using it all the time.
7? Yeah, I think there's 7 Up families and ginger ale families, honestly.
I like both. I think both are good. Some taste good, but ginger ale is something that I like to joke about being the cure-all.
I hate 7 Up.
Panacea.
You know what I did like? I liked the 7 Up game on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. That was a cool ass game.
Fucking you nostalgia.
I mean, it was a good game. You played, you know what you played as? The little spot dude. It was hard and it was like kind of busted and janky, but it was fun. And you played as the little spot with those sunglasses that they used to have as a mascot. I don't think they do that anymore. Yeah, I was just realized like the old consoles used to have like straight up commercial video games. Like there was like McDonald's video games and stuff.
Yeah, there's also the Burger King one.
Oh, that was more recent. Well, not recent, but that was like Xbox 360. They had like
because that's the kind of time I lived in, yes.
Okay, you remember those? I actually have, I think, a copy of the racing one and another one. I have Sneak King and
just so you know, Angst.
There's like a Race King one.
Even I have to accept the fact that 360 and PS2 are retro consoles.
Yeah, that's true. That's not
even recent. I have to accept that.
Yeah. It's a ginger tea. ZD.
Oh my god, tea. I keep trying tea and I don't know. It don't work.
Don't work. Oh, and the other thing I was talking about is how I showed you and I showed some other people the Rocket Knight thing, and I don't know. It was interesting to hear because I thought, oh, this must be like rose-tinted glasses thing, but it was interesting to hear people much younger than me tell me like, oh, this is cool shit. This is cool shit. This is actually good. The music.
It was cool for me because I played all of the old Sonic games. I played them on GameCube, I played them on my DS, and it was the same like art style and graphics as the old Sonic levels.
I would argue, fight me, but I would argue that game had way more what's the word? Tender love and care put into it than even Sonic 2.
I never played Sonic 2.
Oh, it's considered the best Sonic. Of the classics.
You're talking about Adventure, right?
No.
Sega
Genesis.
Like.
Okay, you're just fucking with me. But
okay.
You probably you never played the original Sonic 2?
Now I know what you're talking about. It's just whenever people say Sonic 2, I associate that with Adventure.
Oh, okay. No, I was just.
What's the full name for Sonic 2?
There's a full name? Sonic 2, I don't know. What's the full name? I don't know. There's Sonic a full name? I thought it was just Sonic 2.
Game.
Sonic? The first Sonic's called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Was it called Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or was it just called Sonic 2? Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Was Sonic 3 called Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or was it just Sonic 3?
That was Sonic and Knuckles.
No, there was Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and then there was Sonic and Knuckles. And then what you did is Sonic and Knuckles was the one that had the little flap on top, and then you'd stick
that was Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Yeah, that was starting in the jungle. Yeah.
And then remember you could put the Sonic the 3 cartridge in the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, and that would let you play as Knuckles in Sonic 3.
Yeah, but I didn't have the Genesis. Again, the earliest console I played that shit on was the GameCube.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because they used to have so Sonic and Knuckles came, I don't know if you ever saw it, but it came in a cartridge that was like the normal Sega size.
I don't even know what the fucking Genesis is, Angst. I know it's
the
a
Sega
console,
Genesis.
But like it's I know that the Sega Genesis is something, but I don't even know what it looks like. I don't even know how it functions.
Do you even know how cartridges function?
Yes, I've had a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance.
Okay, all right. So
I know
Okay, so
how
that you
those work.
understand
And
that
I
much.
played
Okay.
the DS, so yes, I know
Okay,
what
all right.
little.
Then what the fuck? Why are you interrupting me? It's just a simple concept. It's a
Well,
fucking
because I don't know
cartridge.
what the Genesis is.
Okay, so the Genesis or the Sega Genesis. Okay, oh my god. All right. So
You don't
there
need to
was
explain it. I'm
no,
just
no, no. There was
like
the no. It's
articulating
just
that.
funny because like I haven't talked about this in forever. So there was the Sega Master
Oh, it's
System.
like an N64.
Yeah. Okay, that's closer. So there was the Sega Master System, and then the Sega Master System then got remodeled and changed it a bit, and it was the smaller black box called the Sega Genesis. Before it was the Sega Genesis, it was this wider box, and it said Sega Master System, but you could still play the games on it. The Master System was actually a bit better because it came with its own headphone jacks and volume dial, which was fucking amazing for the time. So you can actually like plug in your headphones and just like, which is like unheard of, like for most stuff back then, especially anything on your TV. The Sega Genesis was a bit cheaper. It was like more of a mass-produced version, and it lost some of those features, unfortunately. I have both still, but my point is, so you would put the little black cartridge in the game, but the Sonic and Knuckles one was like a kind of a wider one, and it had this like big top compared to just the little black cartridge, and you'd stick it in, and that would just let you play Sonic and Knuckles, right? But it had this feature where you could open the top flap and you could stick another game on top of the Sonic and Knuckles, right? And if you put Sonic 3 on top of that one and connected both of them together, it would let you play as Knuckles in Sonic 3, which was like a big deal then, because I was like, what? It was like a mod, right? Which on a console, right? And I remember people would experiment by putting other games in it because they would figure weird stuff out with it. It would actually there would be other games that if you stuck them into the Sonic and Knuckles, it would actually like put like either Easter eggs or like it would do cheats for Sonic and Knuckles, I think, or some shit like that. Yeah, it was an interesting time. Those were the simple days.
I think your age is showing.
I don't care. I like when my age shows.
And by your age is showing, I mean nostalgia doesn't exist for people that are younger than you.
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think
No,
so.
no, that's a complete lie. I was, I was hoping that I need to stop doing that.
You need to stop
I deliver things. I deliver things that are so outlandish and such a flat affect that it convinces people that they're not outlandish.
Well, no, I don't believe you. I just go like, "Wow, you really think that?" But this time I did believe you. I was thinking about it for a second, and then I was like, I was about to say no, but then you said no.
Yeah, that's my point, right? Like, I think it's outlandish, but the way I convey it is so convincing.
It makes me do a double take, essentially.
Double entendre.
No, that's something else.
I know it is.
Entendre,
I think.
Entendre.
So it just popped in my head, and it escaped before I could contain it.
Active research. You blow on the cartridge if it doesn't load good. Oh, it doesn't load. Good times. Yeah, that's another thing. You Zoomers probably heard of on TikTok or something about blowing the cartridges. Yeah, there was like a whole. Everyone had different. Old. It's Oh, I mean, why did you do that with Game Boy Advance games? You could do that with Game Boy Advance
I did that with DS games all the time.
Yeah. DS.
Yeah.
DS games didn't need to be blown on.
Yeah, like all the friggin' time. Yes.
Maybe the opening on the DS, but not the DS game itself.
Well, no, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
not the cartridge, but yes,
yeah, okay.
The port.
Well, did you have a Game Boy Advance?
Yes.
So those you actually blew the cartridge itself.
You did both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. With the Nintendo, like, man, that was the funny thing. It's like there was like techniques to this shit. I remember like other kids at school, they would have their own like technique on how to like make their game work when or they had a game they played so many fucking times. It's probably all battered and was just battle worn. And they would have to like, or their system was just battle worn, and so they'd have to do like little special rituals to like almost appease the fucking machine spirit of the fucking Nintendo. Because I remember mine was everyone had different things, or some trends got around different locales or whatever. Mine was you get the game, I put it under my shirt, and then I would blow through my shirt, so like hot air specifically, and then I would immediately take it out from under my shirt, shove it into the Nintendo, just a tad bit, before going all the way in, slide it down, and then because I'm pushing it down, it would like, the pressure of pushing it down would kind of like make it go clink forward, and I could get my games to work that wouldn't otherwise. Like if I put my Nintendo game, I just slid it in, like completely all the way in, and press down, and then would hit on, it would never, none of my games would work. I had to do this process. And I remember...
Yeah, I never did all that crazy stuff. I just
man.
sacrificed a newborn child when I needed it.
No, but I had to do this process just to make my fucking Nintendo games work, right? And I remember I would go to, like, somebody's house, and they'd be like, oh, like, my game is not working, or something. Or like, oh, I can't, it's always fucking not working. I would do the same tech with their system, and it would work. And they'd be like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, man. That's the thing. You gotta do these steps, and if you do the steps, it makes the games work. And cassette tapes, my yellow cassette player, earphone, headphone, hybrid, listening to Radio Disney. Radio Disney, yeah, all right. All you have to do is clean the connectors with alcohol. Yeah, but that's not fun, Laverne. Why would I do that? That's boring. I liked my machine spirit ritual because it worked every time. And yeah, the Super had its own things. It was mostly the Nintendo that gave a lot of fucking problems. The Genesis had its own weird thing. The Genesis had a better way of taking care of it had a little flap thing. Did a pretty good job of taking care of like the little connectors or whatever the fuck. Radio Disney, holy shit. Can't believe I forgot that shit existed. That's crazy. Like, you know what's really weird is when I'll tell like a Zoomer about like just weird old shit, like whether it's cartridges or old weird cartoons and shit. And I've had a few Zoomers like where I show them like, oh yeah, man, we had to do like all this shit, or we had to like this. And instead of it being a story about like, oh, you kids are so lucky nowadays, you know, it's more like, yeah, it was fun. It was like, it's a lot more convenient now. But what's funny is, the Zoomers will like be like, oh, like they're almost jealous.
What do you mean by Zoomer?
Like somebody that's in the early 20s, like early 20s, like, and they'll be like, I'll be showing them like, oh yeah, this is like what we used to have to do with cell phones or like internet or whatever, and then they'll just be like, wow, that's so cool. Like, and I'm like, why is it cool? Like, is it the same thing because, like you said, it's retro now or some shit? Like, there's almost like some kind of like the pre-internet era seems like really charming and interesting to a lot of Zoomers. Maybe it's like so unknown.
I thought a Zoomer was even younger than me.
Yeah, I think. I think I think it might be like. Maybe like because the internet is so like engulfing and everywhere, like they think there would be a freedom in it not existing or something charming about that, or not existing to the degree that it does now, or pre-social media. Like, it's fucking crazy to think that like 17-year-olds right now that, or 16-year-olds that they don't even know a world without social media. Like, they've never experienced one. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I don't think the problem is that they think the world would be better off without the internet. I know that's what they say, and like that is still like a conflict in and of itself. But I think the problem is that not that the internet was awful, but that there was a lack of an IRL community. Because even when I was like really, really young, like I'm talking single digit years, there was still kind of a neighborhood community thing going on.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
remember being in touch with uh, other kids, namely at school, like because I came from a bit of a poor family growing up, so we had these like free breakfasts at schools and stuff.
Oh, I
So
remember
you
the
would
free breakfast. Yeah, we were broke too.
yeah, you would interact more community like IRL stuff. But then like halfway through my life, like maybe around the age of 12, then it's really started to shift to the internet age. And there was a distinct lack of community for neighbors.
Interesting. Well, it's funny because like I wasn't very connected to my community to begin with. So I don't know that I don't really
Well, I
look.
didn't. Well, it's not like I was connected to my community. It's that I just did things with my community.
Okay.
So there was
So
there
so
was a community there.
so do
You
you
know,
think that a lot of Zoomers look at that and they kind of long for something like that? They go like, "Oh,
absolutely.
man, that must have been cool." Like that, like when I tell, like I'll tell like somebody that's like 22, like stories about like, "Oh yeah, we would have to go to like my friend's or whatever like house, and we'd have to like all five of us would have to sit down in front of the N64 to play like take turns playing GoldenEye or like Perfect Dark and shit like that." And and they just hear that and they just go like, "Wow."
Even I did that. I had a bit of like an extended family that's more like a god family than anything
Yeah.
because we're not blood related. But even we would do that all the time. There would be a lot of like actual physical community with them. I would ride my bike over there, would play games on like the because we only had stuff like PlayStation,
Mhm.
so we would have two players on that because we didn't have the multi-connector, but we'd have other people like playing, I don't know, Pokemon, other
Yeah.
people just sitting around doing other stuff. So it kind of felt like an in-house community of sorts.
Yeah, there would be this kind of
There's a lot of people that would hear that and be like, "Wow, that I wish I had that."
I kind of understand it too because well, I mean, because look, I'm starting to think because I can imagine even like Zoids thinking some of that's cool because the only reason I can imagine that is because there used to be a lot of what would you call it, parallel play.
Yeah.
So yeah, like especially when you had the handhelds, right? Um it would just be like when you're playing, everyone's like you and like four other people are in the same room playing your own individual Pokemon file, or some shit like that. And then occasionally you would like do a battle with your Pokemon, and you had to like connect. If it was like the original Game Boy, I think uh, Game Boy Pocket or something, you had to connect with a physical wire initially to the systems, and then eventually they had like a infrared thing that you had to like stand essentially like like an inch away from each other, and you could like play over that. Giga Chat Bro Gamer, classic examples having nostalgia for modem dial-up noises. Yeah, I listen to old dial-up noises and they annoy me. Like there is kind of a interesting, they make me laugh, but they don't, I don't know that fills me with anything but thinking about how long it took me to get one picture of a naked woman on my computer. like like it was, or a naked Laura Croft from Tomb Raider 2. Oh my god, shit like
I
that.
remember my brother having been like his friends found out he had Mass Effect porn on his PSP, but I never did any of that.
Yeah, I think the only video game porn I ever looked up on 56K was I found out that somebody told me, they're like, "Oh, did you know that?" It was like in, I don't know, probably like freshman year of high school, and they're like, "Did you know there's like people that did like a naked Lara Croft thing?" And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, it would just be just her blocky. She'd still be blocky as shit, but she had nips and a fucking little what do you call it? A goddamn airway strip. Fucking or something.
An airway strip. What? That is so incomprehensible. I don't even know where to start with that one.
No, it's like that was like when you would shave, like that's when a girl would shave it, but like a little strip. It would
All
just
right,
be a little
I
strip
regret
going.
asking.
Yeah, it would be the little strip going down right down the center, but everything else was shaved. Landing strip. Sorry, thanks, Giga Chad Bro Gamer. Landing
It's
strip.
still incomprehensible, but please don't elaborate.
Yeah, sorry, ZD Past. Yeah, not airport. I don't know why I said it's landing strip. Yes, correct. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what it was called. It was called a landing strip. And because like you're landing a plane, get it? Anyway,
Sure.
you're docking the plane.
No. Shut.
um, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you're right about the community thing. That's kind of interesting. I kind of
Like, do you have any idea
yeah.
how many people would hear someone, even in their early 30s,
Mhm.
talk about, oh, I remember going out and like doing this with my friends. We would get into like so many shenanigans. And then you see someone that's fucking 21, completely estranged from any physical connection to anyone in their life, and has only had the internet to turn to. They're just like, man, that sounds like I wish I had that, you know? Like,
You
you
know,
can't imagine that?
I can imagine it. No, I can imagine it for sure. But no, I'm doing it right now. Actually, I was just thinking about something else though, regarding that. Well, because like the problem is that if you grew up and fucking went the schizoid route, you probably didn't feel all that physically connected to anyone to begin with, or very much, or at least you probably have very little recollection of such a occurrence. But I do miss the. I am not nostalgic, but maybe I am. I don't know about the parallel play thing. I do like the parallel play thing. I do remember having some fond memories of being around other kids on my Game Boy or reading a comic book and then being able to like look to my left and be like, "Hey, did you read the new Spider-Man?" And then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was crazy." And then we'd be able to talk about the new Spider-Man issue. Like that was kind of cool. I remember I did like that. And then I just thought about something too. Those types of interactions, that parallel play stuff that probably happened to most of us as kids or whatever. But when you were growing up as a neurodivergent kid, that was like probably one of the few times you could like be in a physical location with other people, like other kids, and feel like, oh, like feel kind of okay. Um, because there was like, well, it was pre a lot of social expectation. So I'm talking like elementary school,
Yeah, we're
junior high.
talking when you were like really young. Like, I think the social expectation really started to hit me in fourth grade, so that would have been when I was old.
For me, it was like sixth or seventh grade. I started realizing it. I was still like in my own la la land. Um,
Well, I was very outspoken as a child,
hmm.
so
So then you got.
I kind of got hit with that a little earlier, but it still took me a while before it like really set in. So yeah, I think that makes sense around middle school.
I
But
think it was.
before that, there
Yeah.
was plenty of like, I don't know, quote unquote blissful ignorance, I guess you could say.
I think I was a opinionated child, and then it got beaten out of me, and then I got quiet, and then I didn't get loud again until like sophomore year or junior year of high school. Then I got really loud again. Here's an education. What's the first fictional character you jacked off to? I don't know if I can recollect that honestly.
Yeah, it's probably
Like
just some
like
random
in some
fucking.
like imagination, because obviously there was no like you couldn't like it's not like today where you could just look up Rule 34 stuff and just like watch some high
That's a
res.
whole nother conversation
That's what's so crazy. Like yeah, like
for
one thing
people
that's
that have never known an
yeah
age
that's
without.
yeah that's it that is because like yeah you're right because like you had all these like teenage boys like beating their meat to fucking thoughts of Laura Croft, you know, and and it was like the meme of the time too. It was like,
If
oh,
I
Laura
had to
Croft,
use my imagination,
yeah.
like pure imagination, to indulge that, it wouldn't have worked. No,
Well, I don't
I
know.
would have developed so many more asexual inclinations.
If it wasn't for the internet,
Yeah,
maybe.
because I would have that much less stimulation,
That's so
and
crazy
I
coming
was already
from
averse to.
somebody that's like hyperphantasia too, because you can picture a lot of things very vividly. Um, Real 34 shit is pretty scary right now. Well, yeah, but my point is that now, like anyone born after a certain year, like if they're like into a video game or into anything, and they're like for whatever reason they find some character in a book, a show, a fucking whatever, they find them titillating. All they gotta do is go online and just be like Rule 34, insert character here, and there's gonna be like fucking all these visual aids, right? And even like high res animations, fucking crazy stuff. But yeah, that's an interesting convo. The idea that like that wasn't an option. So if there was like a character in a book or a movie that you had like a some teenage crush on, yeah, that shit would just have to be imagination time. There was no like looking it up. There's no such thing. Huh.
I remember really not liking the concept of anime when I was a kid. And so but like it was more of a like gaslight of I didn't want to admit it to myself, especially around other people.
Oh,
So that didn't really
you're
work.
a weeb in a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you weren't even admitting it to yourself fucking 2 years ago
What?
that you like anime.
Since when?
Dude, you used to say it all the time. Like when we first started talking, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm not weeb. I'm not really into anime. I just like Kingdom Hearts. I'm not really into anime." Used to say that all the time.
I do not remember.
Are you serious, dude? I would like clown on you for it. I'd be like,
Like there's like I
Kingdom
don't
Hearts
watch
is
it.
anime. You're like, no, it's
Like I
not.
don't
It's not
okay,
the
but that is a completely different conversation than saying I'm a closet weeb.
No, but you were saying that you weren't really into anime. You didn't really like anime.
Yeah, the medium of watching anime.
Oh,
I read a lot of manga.
Looks like a brick wall.
Hold on, my daughter just came in. Give me a second.
Yeah, I was a closet weeb for a long time, but lately it was more specifically I didn't watch the medium of anime. I read a lot of manga. That I did do. I didn't like admitting it to other people because it felt like I was admitting weakness, I think is a good way to articulate that.
Maybe you didn't like
It-
admitting you liked anything.
I didn't like showing people what I like, so you still had some of those schizoid inclinations early on.
Yeah. Laverne, anime is dope. Yes, it is. That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, like if you're talking about the medium of anime, no, I didn't I hardly ever watched that. When I was younger, I watched it all the time, but then I switched reading manga.
Isn't it a LAN party, Laverne, or did they call it that for sure? No, it's LAN. It's LAN. Yeah.
Yeah, we called it a longer word for short.
No, that's not what they meant.
But I thought it was funny.
Okay, LAN. Yeah, I think Laverne accidentally put land. Yeah. No, LAN parties were cool, sort of. I remember I would do them for the most non-party party possible is a LAN party. Would do them for Warcraft 3 and Diablo 2. I remember Diablo 2 LAN parties. You'd have to bring your whole fucking computer.
I remember I didn't get along with my siblings, like even like to a really decent deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lot of moments where somehow with my brother, he would be playing a game like Fallout or Skyrim, and he'd be really into it, right? But I'd be watching from a couch, but we'd both be silent to each other. But I could be enjoying like watching him play the game because I wasn't interested in playing the game. But I liked that. I liked, and it happened with my father a very, very few time, like handful of times,
Where he
where
watched?
we would be, him and I would be watching a sci-fi movie,
Uh-huh.
and it would almost always be a sci-fi movie, just be a random sci-fi movie he found, and he'd be silent because he'd be just doing his relaxing watching TV thing, but I would be interested in it, and there wouldn't be the pressure of me needing to speak or engage with him, and I could just enjoy the movie in silence. I like those moments a lot.
Yeah, I can respect that and I can relate to that for sure. I think it was the same feeling from doing something like a LAN party or like console gaming when you had to do split screen shit. Yeah, oh yeah, Halo 1, Halo 2. Oh, you're talking about the LAN parties with the consoles. Or was that the PC version? I don't remember. You didn't do LAN parties with consoles, did you? With the Xbox original? I don't remember at all now.
What do you mean you didn't do LAN parties with console? Are you
Oh yeah, I did. I never
What?
did it. I never did
what?
that.
What are you
No.
talking about?
I never did that. I only did the PC stuff.
Dude, I
Yeah,
remember
the OG,
split
the
screen
original Xbox. Yeah.
split screen Call of Duty, MW2. Oh,
No,
those were the fucking days,
but that
man.
wasn't a LAN party.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't have multiple systems.
Well, that's not what I consider a LAN party.
Okay, well, that's not what a LAN party is. A LAN party is when you would get like a few computers or consoles together, and then you would connect them through like through fucking telephone lines or whatever, and you would have to connect them all together in order to play the game together because there was no
That
Wi-Fi.
sounds like some boomer shit.
That is some boomer shit. And so like yeah, like it would be like imagine like I want to play, I don't know, whatever, fucking what's a Fortnite or something, whatever kids play, what you kids play nowadays, or just like League. I was like, I want to play League with my my other friends. You would have to get like literally like 10 people together in the same room and hook up 10 separate computers to
Even back in the day when you had people that had just started playing MOBAs like League, or they played games like CSGO, you'd have a bunch of people sitting in the same room and they're like same systems.
What are you talking about? They're not connected because they need to be.
But
in any
no,
way.
no, no. It's not connected because they need to be, but they do
Oh,
have
LAN
that
wire
connection.
stuff.
I'm trying to articulate the fact that there would still be a physical connection, like a bunch of people in a room doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, you're still in the room with the humans.
Even in early internet days, but that like I don't know when that got lost. I think
Well,
that
they still
probably
have internet cafes. Those still exist.
yeah, but we also live in the fucking Western Hemisphere, so like no, those don't exist. They do
they
exist,
do.
but no.
There's like one like not that far from here.
You also live in fucking California, so yeah, there's probably gonna be a net cafe there, but I live in buttfuck Illinois, so no, those don't exist here.
I'd assume there'd be more of them there because like there's less people with good internet or good computers.
Well, no, because we're not like a tech capital.
We don't play with them fandangled gizmos. Anyway, oh.
We have roads that don't work, that have potholes in them. We don't have net cafes.
Well, don't make it sound like you live in the Appalachian Mountains or anything, but
If you live in Illinois, you know. Fucking sucks.
It's like that meme. Those who know. Those who know. Oh no. But yeah, LAN parties were a thing, and now that I think about it, yeah, there was something kind of nice about having, like, I guess, because yeah, I did. I was a nerdy kid, but I do remember like the nerds are the only people I would hang out with or want to hang out with, because it wasn't even a situation where like, oh, those are the only people that would take me in. It was more like I wouldn't want to hang out with anything but the nerds, because the
Yeah, because the
nerds,
nerds were the cool ones.
well, yeah, because the nerds liked the things that I liked, even if
Yeah.
they liked it differently than me or for different ways and whatever, but they still like the things I liked. And eventually the nerds went on to like other things that I did not like making a bunch of friends and going out and things like that. Even as I got older, like, we're talking like high school and then even college, like college age, like even in my early, like 21, 20. I remember I would still play games and be around nerds mostly, but even then I started not wanting to be around them at that age, because all they would seem to do is bitch and complain about not having the things um that I didn't want, so I didn't relate. Like they would be
My
like
my friend group
wanting
never had that.
all that stuff. They wanted like, oh, I wish, I want my this and I want that, and like, and they're all like thinking about all this stuff that I was like, oh, I don't care about any of that shit. And so even they became kind of like alienating to be around.
I
Stuff.
was lucky enough that my IRL friend group that I had since like fourth grade never really branched out. But I like they're neurodivergent, I would say, but not in the context of like they're autistic or the schizo spectrum. They're more just like I don't know, content with what they have in the internet.
You want to know
So
something? Oh yeah, go ahead. I just remembered something wild.
instead of saying neurodivergent, they're more just divergent,
They're just kind of
essentially.
oddballs in
Yeah,
various
I
ways.
guess I would rather just say that.
Um, I just had a quick crazy memory. Oh, hey, tilting.
Crazy hamburger.
Crazy. Oh. Um, I remember that in no, was elementary school, junior high. Hold on, let me see if I can pinpoint it.
Really
What was?
digging up graves here.
Yeah, no, I remember. Okay, so I have a feeling it was either junior high or freshman year of high school. I can't quite pinpoint it. It might have just been back elementary or something. But I remember that I had oh, I just had another icky memory. Ugh. I forgot about that. Okay, I got some weird ones for you. Okay, I remember one of the only guys that I think it was junior high that I was like that yeah, it was junior high that I was able to kind of connect with a little bit, or that I just liked hanging out with, because and not it wasn't just like doing parallel play, it was actually talking about stuff. Was a guy who, like, I think back now, I'm pretty sure he was autistic. And
Yeah, you
he
really have this thing out for people that are
no,
autistic.
I think I've always had it. And
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah.
yeah, but like I remember he was like, I still have memories of that kid, and we would like just hang out and we'd talk about like weird ideas and theories on stuff, and he liked talking about a lot of STEM stuff. Like, but like, like he'd be talking about like Nat Geo shit and like different things like that, or the Discovery Channel's like stuff. And because that was again pre-internet, and so like all you really had was that kind of stuff, or like weird like AM radio shows that talked about like what would be considered like brainier shit or whatever. And I remember, yeah, we would have all these like little kid like fucking philosophy conversations about like different things, and I'd be talking more like philosophical stuff and he'd be talking more like STEMmy shit, and like we just talk about stuff. And yeah, that was weird. I forgot about that guy. And I remember that um eventually, like, I think when we got to high school, he ended up going to another school than my high school. And I remember I think I was like I was very sad, I think. I have memories that I was sad about that. Like that I was actually pretty disappointed. Because I think that was like one of the few people that I had a thoroughly good time conversating because they were all so socially awkward. And so they probably also didn't have a lot of people to talk to or hang around with because it's the same reasons I did in junior high because of how just odd or eccentric we were. Yeah, that's kind of a little bittersweet memory. That's interesting. I forgot about that one. One that's just bitter, not very sweet. It's kind of depressing. I remember. I think this was elementary school, and in elementary school, like early elementary school, like I'm talking like fourth grade, maybe like fourth grade or third or like late, like third or fourth. I remember there was a kid and we kind of just became video game buddies and like I would go over to his house and we'd like just play all kinds of Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games. And we'd like trade games. That was like the guy I would trade games with. So it'd be like, hey, you let me borrow that, I'll let you borrow this, and then we'll like finish it up in a month or so, and then we'll like give them back, and then we'll borrow something else. So it was like we both had like a decent little library of games, and so we would like exchange games. And and sometimes we would go over to do two players on stuff. And I remember that I think he ended up not going to the same junior high as me for some reason. And but he still lived like not far from where I was. And the mom still remembered me because I used to like hang out with him like pretty often. And yeah, this is a fucked up memory. I remember that one day, I think it was like 2 years after maybe I stopped like going over there because we stopped going to the same junior high and just kind of lost touch or whatever. Maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't remember how long passed, but I still lived in the same place. And I remember one day we had a knock on the door, and we got a knock on the door. My mom answered it, and it was the mom of that kid, and the kid. You know what? I think his name. I think his name. I might be wrong, but I think his name was Giovanni. Maybe I'm mixing it up with somebody else.
Wow, you really just doxed someone.
Yeah, okay. I doxed someone from like when I was like a junior high, and um, Giorno Giovanna. No, this is the fucked up part. I remember the mom was talking to my mom, and then my mom let her in and him, but something was off, something was wrong. And I remember I was sitting there and I was just like playing a game or something, or maybe reading something, and or probably on my Game Boy or something like that. And then the mom comes over to me and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Oh, hi," and then she's like, "Do you remember your friend?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, your friend. Remember him?" And she would say the name, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we used to like we would play games." I was like really awkward. I was just like, "Yeah, we play games. That was cool." And then he's like right there, standing there, right, and something's off. And then she basically explains to she's telling my mom. I remember listening, and she's basically this kid like was in some fucking terrible accident, and he like fucking like went off a ravine or some shit, and it like put him like I don't know if it was a coma or what some shit, but it did some fucking brain damage, and I remember that like basically like I was one of the few people he still kind of remembered being around and stuff. And like my little schizo ass was just like, what? Like I was just so fucking confused. And I remember he had like a scar on his head, like where he fucking cracked his skull or something.
Dude, fucking Harry Potter.
Jeez, that's
Nice.
grim, bro. That's so grim. My current IRLs I'm in contact with due to D&D, and that's all I really talk about with him. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, he had like a scar on his head, and like he just had that. He had like a little bit of a vacant stare, and it was just. It was. I remember it really kind of fucked me up as a kid, like, because I was looking at him and I remembered him, and I'm like, oh yeah, we used to talk about all kinds of games, and then like me thinking like, oh, well, hi, guy. And he was just like, hello. But he was like off, dude. Remember he had like a speech impediment and like, and so like, I guess the mom wanted me to like hang out with him again. But that shit was like fucking crazy freaky to me because like I had this kind of recollection of this guy. We would just like yammer on and on about games and stuff and like talk about Easter eggs and secrets in our Nintendo games and stuff. And then he was just like not capable of doing any of that anymore. Like he was like he couldn't even play games like right anymore. And like yeah, he just couldn't even play his games anymore, right? And he was just kind of like fucked up and had memory issues and like just cognitive issues, and he had to take things real slow and talked slower, and it was grim, man. I think that might have been traumatizing to me as a kid, but I can't quite like remember. But I'm pretty sure it had to have been that, or I was
That
just kind of
feels like
disassociated by then. Huh?
you're coming into contact with like the realization of your own mortality or something. I don't know.
I don't know, some crazy shit. Like, yeah, because like it was just like I went from like, oh, I remember this kid. We talked about games to like I can't even communicate with him like 100%. And then I guess she wanted me to like. My mom was like, oh no, yeah. Like my mom thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. She's like, oh yeah, that'd be fine if you want, my son to come over and hang out with him. And I remember like at the time I was just like, okay, just being like some fucking I don't know how old I was, like 10 or something. Being some like 10 or 11-year-old kid, I was just like, yeah, okay, I could go over and play games with him. That's cool. I was just like kind of confused. And then I remember I think I went over like twice. And I think I went over once and had dinner with the family, and then like we went to his room and he still had like some of his games and stuff, and then I think he just wanted like to kind of chill and then just kind of like he wanted to watch me play them, but he couldn't really play them anymore. It's really depressing. And and I think I only went like twice because like something about it was just like really fucking with me, but I couldn't quite figure it out what it was because I was like 11. And yeah, like now I kind of feel bad because like I'm just like because I think I told my mom I'm like I don't want to go over there anymore, and she's like
Well, you were a
why?
kid. How would you have known?
Yeah, I know. And she's like why? And I think I told her like oh, I don't know, it just he's not the same. I don't know how to talk to him, and it's weird or something, or I don't know. I don't want to. And I don't think I went over anymore. But yeah, because like I don't know, it fucked with me. But yeah, of course now like I'm as an adult and everything. I think back and I just kind of go like, damn, I kind of wish I had the forethought, which I didn't at the time. But I wish to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go over and just play games, and he's getting some enjoyment out of it. I can play games, and he can't play games anymore. That sucks, and that's fucked up. Maybe one day he got better. Maybe over time he recovered his shit more. But at that time he definitely couldn't. I don't know whatever happened to him. Man, that's dark. Shit. That was like a fucking super locked up memory. I forgot about that shit. God
Don't you
damn.
just love it?
Ugh, that was grim, dude. that just fucking fucked with my night. Like, I forgot. I legit forgot about that. Like, completely forgot about that one. I haven't thought about that in probably like 15 years. Fucking crazy. A boy I went to Boy Scouts with fell off a trampoline, landed on his neck, and he's paralyzed from the neck down ever since. Jesus. Darkman, he had a kid in high school who was skateboarding accident and severely brain damaged, was popular football player and everything. Not sure which is worse, brain damage or paralyzed. Yeah, man, anyone. Yeah, he's probably a happy guy now. I hope he's a happy guy. I hope he's a lot better. I hope he's got, I hope fucking, neuroplasticity is a fucking miracle, man. Like, there's people that come out all fucked up and then, like, give them a few years and they really fucking, it recovers, like, a crazy amount. Maybe not 100%, but it recovers a lot. They don't permanently stay all like, but like, after a few years, it kind of. So I hope one day he got better and he started playing his games again and he got the help he needed and all that stuff. And yeah, it's just grim. Yeah, it's grim. Hey, everybody! All depressing as fuck. Their lives are already depressing as it is. My current IRL. Oh, I already read that. All right, well, guys, I guess that's the end of this stream. Sorry, it's gonna be 8:30. And if that story made you feel kind of shitty, apologies. If it didn't make you feel anything, well, there's nothing to apologize for at that point.
Yeah, I'm on the ladder.
Why would you say that, Trudy? That's so weird. Fucking Trudy. He's watching you now? I don't think he died.
It's so sad that your friend died of ligma.
Stop. He's watching you now. What does that mean, Trudy?
What do you think that means?
Like, I just pictured him listening. He's just like one of the people listening or that watches like somehow my the VODs for my streams.
He's like Santa Claus. I don't know.
Christ almighty. All right, bye. Okay, guys.
Anyway. You when you're sleeping. He knows when you're
on stream. How would he know? He's just watching me. He's like,
he just does.
He's just sitting there. He's like recovered. He's all recovered. And he's like, "You son of a bitch! You left me back." I remember. I just needed a friend. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no, please no. Please don't be that. That's a nightmare to think about. Appears again online. He's like, remember me. Like, oh my god. It's like some fucking Tales from the Crypt shit. Like, fucking Jesus. I think that's like scarier than like I don't know, a monster or ghost or something. Like, for me, what's scarier is like some remnant of my past, like showing up from when I was like in elementary school and being like, you're the reason I'm all fucked up now. It's like, whoa. About some shit I don't even remember doing because I was all like, ugh. Oh man, that's grim. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for supporting by watching. If you like the stream, like it. Please like, sub if you haven't subbed. Hit the stupid bell, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And also, if you like what I do or you like the work I do, please, Patreon is really helpful. PayPal is really helpful. Donations to there are really cool. I'll send your gifts my way. And then if you're already on Twitch, you can subscribe there. That gives me a few bucks. And if you have Amazon Prime and you don't use that free Jeff Bezos fucking Twitch sub or whatever, use it on my channel. It's just $2 a month I'll get that Jeff Bezos won't. I answered a random number on accident and heard my dead papa's voice. Woof. I don't know if that's a meme or you're actually saying that. Because it sounds like it could be a copy pasta, but like I have no idea. Kind of dropped it out of nowhere. They're active. All right, guys. Peace out, and as usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day.